So today we will start with the experiment named as measurement of angle using sine center. Right. So this is the sine center setup what we are having. It is nothing but it is also consisting of the sine bar along with the extra attachments. What we are having is the two centers. Right. So in between these two centers we are going to keep a workpiece whose angle has to be measured. Right. So the advantage of using this sine center compared to sine bar is, in sine bar we cannot hold these type of conical workpieces properly, right? So it is very difficult to hold this type of conical workpieces and measure the angle in the case of sine bar. So we are using sine center. That is the main advantage of this one. And along with this one we can check the parallelism even with the help of the dial gauge, right? So in order to check the dial gauge, we are going to adjust the height by using the slip gauge set of box, right? So this is the M83 set of slip gauge box, right? So first let us see what are the observations we are having in this sheet. So the first observation what we are having is the least count of the vernier caliper, right? So this is the least count of vernier caliper. We are using this regular vernier caliper which is having the least count of 0.02 mm, right? So the first step in the procedure is I need to measure the larger diameter of the workpiece which we are designating as capital D, and smaller diameter of the workpiece which we are going to designate as a small d, and the length of the cone, right? So these three parameters we are going to measure now, right? So first let us measure the larger diameter, the smaller diameter, as well as the length of the workpiece. So this is the larger diameter what we are going to measure. On the larger side we will be having the larger diameter. Let us go for measuring it, right? So we will be having MSR as 30 and VSR as, let us see where it is going to be coincided. It is coinciding at 0.9, right? So as we have seen the reading of a larger diameter, let us see what are the MSR and VSR what we get. We get MSR as 30 and before that one we got vernier scale reading as 45, that is the ninth digit is going to be coincided, that is 45 into the least count of which is 0.02. That one we are going to add it to the main scale reading which we got it as 30. So my larger diameter is 30.9. That we are going to write it in the observation, that is 30.9 mm, right? So similarly we will measure the smaller diameter of the workpiece. So this is how we are going to measure the smaller diameter. We are going to measure on the smaller end side of a workpiece, right? So let us see the reading now. So the main scale reading is 23 and the vernier scale reading is 20, right? So 20 is my VSR into the least count 0.02 plus 23, right? So 23.4 is my smaller diameter of the workpiece, right? So similarly we will measure the length of the conical workpiece, right? So not the complete end, whatever the conical portion we are having, only that much amount of portion we are going to measure, that is designated by small l, right? So now we are going to measure this one. This is nothing but 101 is MSR and VSR is 30, right? So 30 is my VSR, that is 30 into 0.02 plus 101. So we will be having 101.6 mm, right? And the last observation what we are having is center distance between the rollers, right? So we will be having the center distance between the roller from the center of this roller to the center of this roller, that will be fixed for each of the sign centers, which we are going to get it as a 200, right? So that 200 is a constant one, that one we are going to write it directly, that is 200 mm, right? So now with the help of this formula we are going to calculate the theoretical value of angle, how much we are going to get, that is small capital D, that is 30.9 minus 23.4 divided by 2 into L, that is 101.6. So we got it as 0.036. that one we are going to tan inverse it, right? So tan inverse of the answer. Okay. So the larger diameter of the cylinder is 30.9, that one will substitute, minus 23.4 divided by 2 into 101.6. So by substituting we will get 30.9 minus 23.4 divided by 2 into 101.6, we will get it as 0.0369. that one we are going to tan inverse, we will get 2.113, right? So this is in terms of radian. If you convert this one into in terms of seconds as well as minutes, so this is nothing but 2 degrees 6 minutes and 49 seconds, right? So this is the value of theoretical theta what we are going to calculate, right? So theta value is 2.113, right? So the same theta value we are going to substitute in this formula, that is sine of 2.113, right? So sine of 2.113 into capital L, that is the central distance between the rollers, that we have already the reading as 200. So we will get, that is nothing but 7.374, right? So L value we have substituted as 200 into sine of 2.113, we got it as 7.37, right? So this is in terms of mm. So this is height below the rollers, right? For the value of 7.37 we need to build the slip gauge, right? If it is directly available, then directly single piece we are going to use, and if it is not directly available, then using 2 or more number of slip gauges we are going to make a combination of slip gauge, that is nothing but the ringing phenomenon. With the help of ringing phenomenon we are going to make this much amount of the dimensions, right? So now this 7.37 whatever we are having, so using M83 set of slip gauge box we will be having 1.07, right, as a direct one piece which is available, and remaining is 6, right? So this is also directly available for us, right? So using 1.37 it is, so 1.37 as well as 6, these two pieces are directly available in our set of slip gauge boxes, right? So from this table we will pick 1.37 from here, that is 1.37, as well as the 6 slip gauge box, right? So this is the 6 slip gauge box. Using a ringing phenomenon we are going to combine, we are going to ring it like this, and we are going to join these two set of slip gauge box. So this is the runged set of slip gauge box. This one we are going to keep on the lower end side, that is a smaller diameter end side. in order to check the parallelism, right? So now with the help of this vernier height gauge, we will go for checking the parallelism, right? So we will adjust the height, we will lower it till it touches with the bottom point. Right. So we will go for checking the parallelism, whether this surface has become perfectly parallel or not with respect to the surface plate, right? So here on the dial indicator, we will be observing the reading here. On the dial indicator, we will be observing the reading, that is various readings we are having on the dial indicator. So let us go for moving from this side to another side, right? So I will be getting some deflection. If it is crossing beyond 20, then again we should go for adjusting the height. If it is not crossing 20, then the whatever the slip gauge height, whatever we have set, that will be the correct one. See here, even though I am moving it from right to left as well as left to right, I will be getting the variation which is lesser than 20, right? So you can see here till it is 18, so which is lesser than 20, so we will stop the adjustment. If it is crossing the 20, then we should go for again the adjusting the set of slip gauge, right? So now by this what we are going to conclude is whatever the slip gauge height we have used, that is the correct one, right? That is 7.37, right? So HA value we got it as 7.37 mm, which is adjusted one, or it has shown the deviation lesser than 20 digit, so we will keep as it is, otherwise we would have adjusted this reading also, right? So now by using that HA value or adjusted height value, we are going to calculate the new theta. The same formula we are going to use, sine inverse of HA, we got it as 7.37 divided by capital L, whose reading is 300, right? 200. Sorry, 200. So 7.37 divided by 200, and we will take the sine inverse of it. It is sine inverse of the answer 2.1118, right? So we will convert this one into minutes, that is 2 degrees 6 minutes 42 seconds, right? So this is what the new theta, right? So now the theoretical theta what we have calculated, that is 2 degrees 6 minutes 49 seconds, and the practical one, practical theta what we have calculated, that is 2 degrees 6 minutes 42 seconds. So the difference in the angles measured by theoretical as well as practical, we got it as the 7 seconds, right? So which is almost closer to the theoretical one, right? So like this we are going to compare, we are going to measure the angle of conical workpieces using the sine center.